one of the 4 additions I've added in for Winner's Choice options for the Powerball. Should be on this Wednesday. Today's Tuesday, so this one, very, very, very cool build. If you pick this, awesome, thank you. So this is, if you remember a while back, I did 3 different dials. Just, I don't know quite how to explain. Just made up 3 laser etch dials. Took some inspiration on this one, I think from an old Oris, if I recall. It's like a red and white, if I recall. So took some inspiration on that. This was all laser etched, just silver. But I had this awesome green paint that I painted it and sanded it and then backside loomed. And how the backside loom works, which if we get into the dark, you'll see this a lot better. But you can see what we got going on here. So, laser etched custom dial, backside loomed. We've got a white handset that's got kind of like a nice looking teal loom look to it, though as you saw, it looms the same color as everything else. Custom painted seconds hand. That's white with a darker green pip to go with this darker green suede strap. Super, super, super comfortable. Since this isn't military, this is not diver related, it's really hard. I didn't do anything on the crown, so it's just a blank crown. Normally you see that I put something on there. I thought about putting one of my logos on there, but I just thought, well, let's just keep it classy. Not that my logo isn't classy. I just thought, this is a cool look. Just having that just by itself looks good. So it's in a brush case. It's got a polished shark tooth bezel with a green 5-dot insert. I was able to get this on pretty tight. I mean, if you're moving that, you're wanting to move it. You're not accidentally moving this thing. You're not bumping it with your finger and moving it. So, I mean, even if you are, good work on it, and you've probably torn up your fingers a little bit. I mean, look at that. See that on my finger? All I did was push on this. So, if you're wanting to move this thing, you're intending to move that thing. Okay. As I showed you this nice suede strap with a brushed keeper, you've got a silver rotor in here, stainless steel movement holder in there, and a low profile exhibition case back on that. So that is the build. I had actually been sitting back this dial and this strap for about a month because I had something similar. I had a Kraken that was similar in green that I was putting on this leather, and I didn't want to do like 2 at the same time, out there. So I've been holding this back for a minute. So whoever's getting it, you got something pretty awesome. I only make one of that dial. Not that I can't make more, but that dial takes me a long time to get. I got to order so many from the guy. Just in total, not so many of a certain dial. But so that is the only dial of that. So if you got that, good work. As I show you, the bezel will go left, go right. It's held on with a tension ring. It does not click. This is an automatic mechanical, so you can wind it, you can wear it, you can put it in a watch winder. But if it's dead or you're not very active, make sure you wind it just a little bit before you put it on so you don't lose time. And how you do that is you back the crown off the threads until you hear it clicking. And you feel a little bit of play so you know you're off the threads. And you wind. A wind is to turn that way. Turning it back towards you doesn't do anything, but it's a lot easier to go back and forth and keep your finger spacing. Go like this. If you do this for 4 or 5 seconds, you will keep time mixed with your rotor movement, even if you're not very active. If you do it for something closer to 20 seconds, you're going to max out your 31-hour power reserve. As I wind, I slowly start working my way towards the crown. I got to reposition my fingers again. But you can sit there and do this if you want. Some of them this works better on. Some of them, for me, it's better to go back and forth. So, it doesn't matter. You can't overwind it. You can wind it all day if you want. So, it doesn't matter. You can wind and wind and wind and wind. If you do it for something closer to 20 seconds, like the aggressive back and forth, little half turns, you're going to max out your 31+ hour power reserve on it. And as I said, you can't overwind it, so you can wind it all day. When you feel comfortable with your winding, you can now pull out to the one and only click and set your time. Now it's not a hacking movement, so it's going to keep going. And you're also going to notice you got a wobble crown that deflects lateral pressure from going into the stem and putting adverse pressure on the movement. So when you're pushing and prying on it, setting stuff, you're not bending anything. When you are good with your winding and you're setting your time, okay Google, what time is it? Okay Google, what time is it?
It's 11:50 a.m.
11:50 a.m. The one in here that's sitting 2 feet from me can never hear me. The one in my bedroom that's down the hall, every time I ask this thing something, it's screaming at me because it can hear me. I don't get it. I legit don't get how it hears me. So anyway, whenever you're good, push it back over, take it out of that time setting, and screw it down. And you're good. And just to show you guys, so like you can't see any loom right now, right? But in theory, it should still be gloomy, right? And I know it doesn't like to pick up stuff, but we're still going. So that is that build. As with every boat, it comes with matching beads. Entirely up to you whether you wear them with it or not, but it's a lot cooler if you do. This comes in one of my special edition boxes where I actually matched the dial. Now, I didn't paint it green, but matches the dial. So, as with every boat, comes with watch cleaners. It's good on all glass and metal parts. Everything there in the center. Non-toxic, non-streaking, non-residue. Some leather conditioner to keep this leather strap perfectly soft. Apply it on both sides. Let it soak in. Remove any excess. You only need this sparingly and every once in a while. So, you don't need it very often, but when you do, don't use a lot. And then lastly, some Novus 2 from Amazon. This is repackaged. Comes in a much larger bottle, but this is like a poly watch because this is an acrylic glass and you can scratch it, but if you do, put a tiny bit on it, buff against it, filling that scratch, and then buff it out using your thumb and your included microfiber, and you should knock it out in about 20 seconds. Just try not to scratch your glass, man. But if you do, good news, you can fix it. So that is a build. If you pick this build up, congrats, awesome selection, and I appreciate your support. And if you want me to build you something custom and unique, reach out and I'll see what I can do. And if you want to continue to see videos like this, like and subscribe as I put them up all the time. Thanks, guys.